In this podcast episode, Ben Shapiro delves into the shocking case of Luigi Mangion, the alleged shooter of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson, who was arrested in Pennsylvania after being recognized by a McDonald's employee. The discussion explores Mangion's background, the circumstances surrounding the shooting, and the broader societal implications of the incident. Luigi Mangion, a 26-year-old from a wealthy family, was a valedictorian at the prestigious Gilman School in Baltimore and later attended the University of Pennsylvania, where he earned a degree in computer science. His family has a history in the healthcare industry, having founded a senior care company. However, in recent years, Mangion faced significant personal challenges, including a severe back injury that led to chronic pain and a series of mental health struggles. Friends noted that he became increasingly isolated and radicalized, particularly after being laid off from his job at TrueCar and undergoing a painful spinal surgery. Mangion's social media activity reflected a growing discontent with the healthcare system, which he believed was failing the American public. He expressed these sentiments in a 2-page manifesto found on him at the time of his arrest, where he condemned the healthcare industry for prioritizing profits over patient care. His writings indicated a belief that violence was a justified response to systemic issues, echoing sentiments from historical figures like the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski. The shooting occurred as Brian Thompson was walking to a hotel for a UnitedHealthcare investor conference in Manhattan. Mangion allegedly approached him and opened fire, resulting in Thompson's death. Shapiro emphasizes that regardless of one's views on the healthcare system, violence is never a justified response to grievances. He argues that the act of murder cannot be rationalized by systemic failures, highlighting the moral implications of Mangion's actions. The podcast also addresses the disturbing public response to the shooting, with some individuals expressing sympathy for Mangion and even justifying his actions as a form of protest against the healthcare system. Shapiro critiques this mindset, pointing out that it reflects a broader societal issue where violence is increasingly seen as an acceptable means of expressing discontent. He cites comments from various media figures who have expressed a troubling sense of joy over Thompson's murder, framing it as a necessary act against corporate greed. Shapiro argues that this normalization of violence in political discourse is dangerous and reflects a failure to engage with complex societal issues through constructive dialogue. He stresses that the healthcare system's problems are multifaceted and cannot be solved through individual acts of violence. The discussion also touches on the role of mental health in Mangion's actions. Shapiro notes that Mangion's struggles with chronic pain and mental health issues likely contributed to his radicalization. He warns against the glorification of psychedelic drug use, which Mangion reportedly engaged in as a means of coping with his pain. Shapiro emphasizes the need for a nuanced understanding of mental health and the dangers of romanticizing drug use without acknowledging the potential consequences. Shapiro connects Mangion's case to a larger trend in society where individuals feel justified in resorting to violence due to perceived injustices. He critiques the political and media landscape that often frames systemic issues in terms of good versus evil, leading to a dangerous oversimplification of complex problems. This narrative, he argues, fosters an environment where violence is seen as a legitimate response to grievances. The podcast concludes with a call for a return to civil discourse and a recognition that societal problems require thoughtful solutions rather than violent actions. Shapiro urges listeners to engage with the complexities of issues like healthcare reform through political processes rather than resorting to individual acts of violence.